Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today let's all at the lead code question. The description of the question is as follows: that we were given an array of positive integers and we are also given queries which is a vector of vector, and we need for each query we need to compute XOR of all the elements. Compute the XOR of all the elements where given ith query, the result of the XOR should be array of left XOR array of left plus 1 and so on till array of right. So this is how it should work. For achieving this, what I'll try to do is I'll try to explain the fundamental concept behind XOR. So I'll just specify or tell you this, that if A XOR B XOR C XOR D is equals to E, then if I XORed again with A XOR B both sides, in the other sense I'm just specifying that A XOR B XOR C, this is an XOR property. XOR D, I'll just specify that I'll XOR again with A XOR B, that gives me E XOR A XOR B. So in this case, you knew that X XOR X is always is equals to 0. In this case, A XOR B XOR C XOR D XOR A XOR B. So this would again give me, what I'll say is A XOR A XOR B XOR B XOR C. So this again what would give me is C. So in this case what I could say ideally is C is equals to, C XOR D is also there. So I'm sorry for not writing that. So that would give me C XOR D. So C XOR D would give me what? E XOR A XOR B. So that's how it works. This is an XOR property. So ideally what I could indirectly say is A XOR B XOR C if gives me D, then I could say A is equals to D XOR B XOR C. I mean I could take remaining XORs to that side so that I could get both LHS. Ultimately I need to specify this like LHS and RHS together should be equivalent elements that we were using above as well, and they should be separated by XOR operation in between them. So that's how it works. So what I'll specify is, currently I'll just call a prefix XOR followed by XOR, and if I just call it as query XOR followed by suffix XOR, would be what? Would obviously always be equal to total XOR. So prefix XOR or query XOR or suffix XOR would be total XOR. So if I just need query XOR, what I'll do? In that case, my query XOR would be total XOR or prefix XOR or XOR suffix XOR. So that's how it works. So having specified this, what I'll do is I'll just compute the prefix XOR, suffix XOR and total XOR. So I'll just call in total XOR, and also I'll just write other property, 0 XOR any number is equals to that number. So I'll just call in total is equals to 0 vector int prefix XOR to be equal to int n. I'll just call it n as array dot size. So int prefix XOR would be n0 followed by suffix XOR would be again n0. So I'll just call prefix XOR of 0 because as we are starting from that element is equals to my array of 0. So before doing this, I'll just compute my total XOR, and I'll do that parallelly, like for auto element within the array. So what this is doing is it's specifying an auto, meaning the data type of this element should be the data type which is present within this vector elements, and that's integer. So this is by passed by reference, in the sense if any change is made within the loop, that change to be persisted outside of the loop as well. If we haven't specified this ampersand, then the change implied will be persisted only within the for loop. So that's how it works. I'll just call an index to be 1. So prefix of idx would be equal to prefix of idx minus 1 xor array of I dx, and that idx would be incremented by 1. So I also need to find the total xor, right? So for finding the total xor, what I'll do is, my size of array would be 1, so here instead of initializing with 0, I'll just make it array of 0, and it would be array of, or else my total xor would be what? Simply prefix of n minus 1, right? So instead of making this here, I'll just use that only. In the similar way, int idx equals to first of all, I'll just need to make suffix xor. Suffix xor of n minus 1 would be equals to array of n minus 1, and in idx would be now initialized with n minus 2 for, so I'll just call while idx is greater than or equivalent to 0, what I'll do is my suffix of idx would be equal to suffix of idx plus 1 xor array of idx followed by idx would be decremented by 1. So that's how it works. And my total xor as specified would be what? Prefix xor of n minus 1. So that's how it works. I'll just call an answer vector int answer, or I'll just call an answer size as well, int answer size to be equivalent to queries dot size. So here I'll just call an vector int ans with ans size and 0. So for auto query that's present within queries, what I'll do is int left index would be equals to query of 0, int right index would be equals to query of 1. So what as I already specified here, for getting the answer at the current iteration, what we'll be doing is query xor equals to total xor prefix xor suffix xor. So my answer of, I'll just initialize the index with 0 again, so I could use the same here, answer of idx return answer. So answer of idx here ideally would be what? No, I'll just compute pref value first. Pref value would be what? Till the prefix, so till the left of minus 1. If L index is greater than 0, in that case it would be prefix xor L idx minus 1, else in the other case it would be 0. Int suff would be, if r idx is less than n minus 1, it would be suffix xor r idx plus 1, else it would be mapping to 0, and my answer of idx would be equal to pref xor suff xor total. So I'll just increment my index by 1. I'll just return answer. It should work fine without any issue. I'll just try if it's working fine or not. So this should be prefix xor instead of prefix. I'll just make it prefix xor. This is also prefix xor. This is also suffix xor, not simply suffix. I'll just make it suffix xor. I'll just try running this out. It's runtime error, so might be a case where we are not sure why this is happening, so I'll just call it while idx is less than n, so that it should work fine. While idx is less than n, yes, it's working as expected. Let me just specify here कि my C++ compiler not to import any libraries from C that will be helping me to take input or give output anything to the terminal. So I'll just specify my cin dot tie to be null, also my cout dot tie also to be null. I'll just try running this out. It should work fine as expected. Yes, it's working fine. Let me just submit this out. It's working fine and we bet 90% people with our complexity. Feel free to add anything in the comment section if you think anything is unclear. Thank you for watching the video.